Hey everybody, welcome, and thanks for considering being a patron. I started this page because after a keynote that was on intersectionality, where I talked about how it's not just an academic term, but it's something that we have to think about in ourselves and in our work with other people. There were a number of women who said, this is really great work, like you've made the complex understandable. How do we pay you? And I thought, I don't know. I hadn't thought about that. And they suggested a Patreon page. So here I am. And what I do is I try to make things that are complicated or academic useful for everyday life. I feel like what's the use in us doing a lot of thinking in the ivory tower if it's not useful to everyday people? So I started a YouTube channel called Truth to Power, and it's been fun. It's been an experience. It's where I've taken research and other theories and tried to apply them to current events and help us to understand ourselves and the world better. If you're considering being a patron, thank you. And some of the things that you'd be supporting are, well, my work and the time that I take to do this. Other things would be equipment. So right now I have to hurry home from work and catch the extra daylight that we have to do recordings, or do it on the weekends because I need to use daylight. I don't have access to lights. You'd be supporting things like microphones. So right now I use an iPhone and it works pretty well, but it'd be great to have different equipment to give me some more flexibility. You could also consider that your patronage is supporting equity, is supporting toppling oppression. I want to try to make these ideas about how we tackle oppression from an individual psychology and a systems perspective more accessible to people, and not just as a result of being able to read academic journals or being able to have access to expensive trainings. A number of my videos that have been popular have been about how to talk to kids about these concepts. We'd like to hope and wish that our kids just are so innocent and wouldn't perpetuate these ideas, but we socialize them pretty young and pretty early. So I talk about how do we raise children that can be conscious and, even given the socialization in our society, can also be equity-minded. If you're watching this video on Patreon, you can follow the links to the other places where you can find me, like my YouTube channel at Truth to Power, on Facebook at Dr. Kira Banks, on Instagram at Dr. Kira Banks, and on Twitter at Kira Banks.